good morning, and thanks for tuning in to the Donley Auctions Hour. Hi, I'm Susan. It's great to have you with us this Sunday morning right here on the legendary WLS AM 890. Donley Auctions is an auction house connecting passionate buyers and consigners from all corners of the globe. If it's a rare antique, a classic car, military history, coin-operated machines, coins, or firearms, chances are it passes through our doors. You can bid live from anywhere. Our worldwide showroom is always open at donleyauctions.com. That's where you can see every item on our catalog, catch up on past shows, and listen to our unfiltered podcast. Do you have treasures you are ready to turn into cash? We'd love to talk to you. Call us at 815-923-7000. That's 815-923-7000. Or just email us some photos to consign@donleyauctions.com. We have a fantastic hour lined up for you today, including a preview of some show-stopping items and crazy stories from the auction block. And, of course, I'm joined here today with Randy and Mike Donley. Good morning, gentlemen. Thanks for joining the show.
Good morning, Susan.
Morning, Susan.
What a week we've had with the October Fall Classic. Let's get into it and talk about what a great auction people who were here got to see, and those of you who missed it, you missed it. We'll love to have you come back for the next one.
You got it. Well, it was a great auction, I have to admit. I mean, some phenomenal items traded hands over the weekend. And even before we talk about that, though, I would like to remind everybody out there listening to our show that, the purpose of our show today is twofold. I mean, what we want to do is explain the auction process and how it works and everything, but to also remind you we're more or less a financial show. We're here to help you turn items that you may have in your home into cash money, and we're the people that can do it for you. We're here to let you know how to consign and sell your antiques, whether it's one item or an entire collection.
Well, not only a financial show, but I would have to say an educational show to teach people and give you some ideas on what it is we're looking for and whether or not it has value, right?
Well put. Yep, absolutely.
Get ready for class today.
Okay, here we go. So some of the items, let's just talk about some of the items that traded hands this weekend.
It was a fun auction. It was quite an event. What was your favorite item that sold?
I have to say that big, giant leaded glass and stained glass window. It's was
9 foot tall.
9 foot tall, 6 foot across. Took quite a special home or location, to acquire it. And, that sold for a very good money. The owner, the past owner who sold it, was very, very happy.
I can say that it is going to a museum, though.
Yes.
It's going to a museum for the public to view.
At this point, we don't want to say exactly who bought it. We don't know if they want us to publicize that, but we'll be talking about that in our next shows, I'm sure.
To your point, Randy, what you always say when you have the slight chance to buy something, now that window will never be for sale again.
No.
Oh, probably, now that it's in a museum.
Right.
Absolutely. And that's interesting, Mike, because, folks, this fabulous Tiffany-style window was probably manufactured in about 1905. It was made for a major mansion in New York, which was probably torn down in the, mid to late 50s, Mike?
I don't even think that late. I think it was probably sometime in the 20s or 30s. It didn't last long. They were developing the area pretty quickly.
And it went from there to a prominent hotel in St. Louis. When that was remodeled, it went to a landscaper's home here in Illinois. So it had 3 owners previously, but now it was available for sale again. And again, folks, if you wanted it and missed it, it's probably gone off the market forever.
Did you say how much it went for? I might have missed that.
No, it went for a very, very good money. Again, now that items are sold, we really, there's certain items I don't think we should mention the price because the new owners may not want us to talk about it. So your privacy is important to us. But we can talk about things like the car, the Cadillac, the 1931 Cadillac, sold for over $55,000. The T-Bird sold well. And what did the stock ticker go for, Mike?
The stock ticker brought $12,000, and then it had a base too that I think brought another $2,500. It was sold separately because not everybody needs the base for it. So,
And that's an important item to mention today because there's a lot of stock tickers, folks, out there in homes all over the Chicago area. An item like a stock ticker actually just became obsolete technology at one point, and I would say mid to late 50s, and certainly by the 60s, some of the stock tickers were still in use, but most of them were used for gambling purposes.
for sports tickers, yeah, sports betting.
And then when all these tickers became useless technology and abandoned, a lot of them were just given away to employees of the stock exchange.
Right, retirement gifts, such,
Retirement gifts, especially for Western Union employees. So these things were all over the city for so many years. And of course, Mike, you and I have been collecting stock tickers for literally 50 years.
Yeah, easily. I mean, they're still a great thing. I mean, for somebody to have in their office, especially in financial business, whether it be stocks and bonds or insurance or something like that, it's a statement piece. It really is.
It really is. Instead of somebody having a bronze on a pedestal behind their desk, if you're a financial advisor, a banker, et cetera, anybody in the money business, it's always nice to have a stock ticker in your office.
Well, let me just remind everybody, too, if you do have a stock ticker or know someone who does, please send us a photo. Send it to consign, that's CONSIGN, at Donley, DONLEY, auctions, with an S.com. It's consign at donleyauctions.com. We'd love to see a picture of a stock ticker. We routinely get well over $7,000-8,000 for those every time we get one.
And people don't realize, what they have sitting there. I mean, it's been an object that might have been sitting in their home for the past 30 or 40 years, and they just don't even give it any thought. And
Right.
there's thousands of dollars sitting there.
Yeah, and probably by now it's up in an attic or down in a basement, just
Yes, go check, go
collecting
check.
dust. But staying on the stock ticker for just a minute, you said 7,000-8,000. That's what we pre-auction estimate them at. This one went for 12, and there are certain models, not this one, but there are certain models that can hit 20,000.
Way more than that,
So
yes.
yeah. So folks, if you have a stock ticker and would like information on it,
Give us a call, too, at 815-923-7000. That's 815-923-7000. We have experts here and specialists who will tell you exactly what you have in the stock ticker category there. So give us a call.
beyond that, though, there were other items. We had an awful lot of gambling equipment in this
Oh, yeah.
auction.
We had like
slot
80
machines.
slot machines,
and,
yeah.
probably in that area, two of my favorite items were a mashed set of small, what are called Kaylee Aristocrat roulette slot machines.
Yeah, those are little ones.
Yeah, little tabletop roulette machines. They were in, I'm going to refer to as found condition. They did need some restoration work for sure, but even at that, they still brought $10,000
Yes, they
a
did.
piece.
$10,000 for those little guys.
Yeah, a
That's
piece.
great. I would not have thought that, but again, I don't know all this merchandise. I don't know everything about slot machines like you guys do. So, folks, you got to call us and ask the experts here. Let us know what you have.
What else, Mike? What kind of things did you like? I know you're always into movie memorabilia. What did that sign go for that was in front of Warner Brothers?
Oh, it was the Warner Brothers, the bronze plaque from the Warner Brothers film distributing office. I think that brought $2,700. Is that what it brought?
Yeah,
I think so.
it was close to $2,700 for that big plaque. How
You know-
old? That was pretty old too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was probably from the 30s or 40s. Yeah.
Yeah, who would have thought by looking at it? It's just very simple. Warner Brothers Studios. It's even missing a letter on it, and it's sold for great money. And the owner is so happy to have gotten it because it's so rare.
Piece of movie history.
It really is.
It really is. And, we're only talking about one of the days of a 3-day auction. We had a 3-day auction, folks, which was Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And each day had kind of its theme going. I mean, one day was just sports memorabilia. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
It was sports coins and jewelry.
Right.
That was, I always refer to that as Ryan's trifecta. He's our specialist that works on all three of those items. And boy, oh boy, prices were good.
Yeah, I got to say, out of like 800 lots, we had probably a 95% sell-through rate, everything.
Yeah,
Pretty much
absolutely.
sold in those categories. So again, sports is hot right now. Coins are even hotter. Jewelry, it all goes.
Yeah, I
And
was surprised at how strong pocket watches and wristwatches were. They did pretty good.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we even sold a Rolex in this collection.
we had a
So
Rolex
if
and
you've
some
got
diamonds.
expensive watches, let us know. We can help you with it.
Well, it's funny when you say expensive watches. Ryan had found these watches in a box of watches. There was several high-end watches. There was, I think, Omega Seamaster in there. There was a Le Coulter in there. There was a
Patek
Patek Philippe in there. Yeah, there was quite a box of watches that somebody had just brought in, thinking nothing of it, and turned it into thousands of dollars.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the fun because so many times, folks, you may not know you've got these things that have been inherited or just handed down, and sometimes when they're handed down without any history, or people don't necessarily let the next generation know what they are. They're found in dresser drawers and this type of thing, and you really have to check out what you have before you sell it. I use this analogy all the time. You don't want to get rid of or throw away a lottery ticket without checking out the numbers, and that's what you would be doing if you sell things that you don't know the value of. If you play the best guessing game, it can cost you thousands of dollars.
Well, here's a little fact for you. The coin-operated machines, the slot machines, all the gambling stuff, that's our specialty, one of many specialties we have here at Donley Auctions. And we commanded the field with 11 of the top 20 highest-selling items were coin-operated machines. And that alone averaged price was about $1,000 per item on every single item we sold. So that is a good thing to remember. If you have any coin-operated machines, definitely give us a call at 815-923-7000. That's 815-923-7000. We will be having another coin-operated machine auction coming up in the near future.
Susan, when you mention coin-operated machines, I always try to understand that we're talking to people over the air that can't see pictures in front of them.
Right. What does that mean exactly?
So coin operated goes into so many different areas because we even sold a peanut machine, a coin operated, just a 1 cent peanut machine. You put a penny in, you turn the crank, you get some nuts. One peanut machine sold for over $3,000. Again, a lot of people would look at it and say, well, is this $45? $100,
yeah,
$500.
Like the newer vending machines, probably not so much, but the older stuff that's in good condition. Again, condition is everything. Yeah, that's what we're looking for.
And I'm glad you mentioned, newer, not so much, because with pinball machines, it's just the opposite.
It's the opposite with pinball.
The real
You're right.
money
You're right.
in pinball machines is in the newer ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially some of the digital ones. They do so much more than the older ones used to, with all the bells and whistles.
All bells and whistles.
That's what people want to play.
I heard you got to play the Godfather one at the Pinball Expo. How was that? I've never played the Godfather pinball machine.
The Godfather machine itself was fun to play, but they make a new, what's called a topper for it, and
I've
this
seen those,
topper,
yeah.
when a ball goes into a certain area, all of a sudden this topper starts riddling you, the player, with machine guns.
It does.
It was pretty cool.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty cool.
And again, your favorite movie too, isn't it?
That it is.
Okay,
That
we'll have
it
to
is.
find one for you.
Even some of the older pinball machines were doing well this time. As parts machines, I was surprised.
I was surprised too. I saw
Unrestored
that.
machines. I mean, but we know pinball's gotten hot in the last few years. You couldn't give them away 10 years ago. Now all of a sudden, everybody
Yeah.
wants pinballs.
Yeah.
What about advertising? Another area that we're always looking for, again, part of our show, folks, is to tell you what we're looking for that you might have in your garage or not think too much of. But boy, advertising
And we're not just
items.
talking about advertising signs you can put on the wall. That's one thing. But again, that's another category that has a widespread, like the advertising pieces that are on the countertops at the stores and the department stores and things like that.
Oh, yeah, Mike, what was that beer sign that did so well? Just a little
Oh,
tabletop.
yeah.
Oh, just a little glass reverse painted Blatz beer sign that went
Blatz.
for $2,000. Just a little sign that
It was,
sat on a bar.
yeah, this big. You can't see my hands, but it was this big.
Mm-hmm.
It was very small.
And I remember as a kid seeing Blatz beer bottles, but where was Blatz out of? Is that a local brewery?
That was
Is it-
Milwaukee.
It's
it was,
Wisconsin,
again,
yeah.
Yeah,
Wisconsin.
remember? I think last year we sold the bronze plaque from the office that you walked on when you
Oh, that's right.
walked into
I
the
forgot
offices.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so a lot of brewery items do extremely well. But I still have to say, gas and oil signs are.
Well, can I go back to my favorite advertising piece that we
Please do.
sold? I
Please do.
just love it. And the person who bought it, his wife just shook her head going, I can't believe we bought that. But it is the cutest little Art Deco advertising piece of a woman advertising brassieres. So it shows her wearing a bra. It's just a cute little advertising piece on the table, and that went for a lot too, I believe. And he's very happy.
It was a little chalk
it
figure.
chalkware?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
It was a pretty neat piece.
It
So
was
even just
cool.
stuff like that.
It was cool, but actually, I thought about, for that time period, that was a risque little item to
Very.
To have sitting out on a countertop.
Well, would have went in the ladies' department though, and the men weren't sneaking around in the ladies' departments.
Maybe they were.
Maybe they were.
Maybe they were. But the Buster Brown display pieces, I mean, we had some great stuff. But some of my favorite advertising that we've sold in the past are the ones that move.
Oh, like automatons, and
Automatons.
animation.
Yeah.
of
I don't
all
know if we
kinds.
had any this time around, but we've had them in the past, and I would love to get some more of those in for our next auction.
So, folks, if you have one great advertising piece, or if you don't even know it's a great advertising piece, but you've got your suspicions, give us a call, whether it's one item or an entire collection. Now, so many times you might be listening and you're one of these people who's just inherited a collection. You have a house that needs to get cleaned out because it's full of antiques and artifacts and these type of things. We're the people to call.
Give us a call at 815-923-7000. That's 815-923-7000. Better yet, for those of you on your computers right now, email us at consign@donleyauctions.com. All we need is a photo or two. Tell us where you're located and what you have. I will share that with our specialists, and we'll get back to you with next steps. But I got to say, one advertising piece I'm really looking for, if anyone has one, is a Behringer. Tell them what a Behringer is.
Well, Behringer was a company that was in California. And what they manufactured was, you talk about automated pieces. This was animated items that went in jewelry stores. So all kinds of, almost like toys, really. They were phenomenal pieces, whether they be space-related or Western theme. They all had a theme, and I'm going to say the average display item that would sit in a window was only maybe 2 foot across and about 1 foot tall. They had a lot of animation, whether it be mice or just little characters. I saw a Behringer where it was a couple tiny little blacksmiths with hitting their hammers on an anvil, making wedding rings. I mean, these were great, great display items.
Yeah, there's one with a bride and groom on the top. I mean, there's just so many of them, and they're hard to find. So if you do see an advertising piece with Behringer on the back, definitely give us a call on that one.
Now, one of the reasons Behringers were so hard to find is they weren't sold to the public.
Right.
They weren't even sold to the jewelry stores. They were rented to the jewelry stores. You would sign up with Behringer, and they would send you in the mail. Back in the, what was this, 30s, 40s, Mike? Even into the 50s, they would send you a red box with a new Behringer in it. Every month, you would swap out the Behringer display in your jewelry store window, and you paid a fee for that, but you never owned the equipment. You always had to send it back. So Behringers for many, many years never got out in the collecting world until Behringer itself had closed their doors and somebody bought the entire supply of Behringers, and they've been released into advertising collecting world. Very expensive, very hard to come by.
That's right. We saw one in a window in the Diamond District in Chicago. So if you're ever down in that area, check it out. Go on a little scavenger hunt. They're out there. They're out there.
So let's keep talking a few more minutes about advertising pieces.
Well, this one's, completely different than we've ever had before. Tell us about that one that's up on the screen here.
It was a porcelain sign for Campbell soup. It looked like a Campbell soup can, a tomato soup can.
A giant Campbell soup can.
Yeah, and it was kind of curved in the front and made of porcelain with a bracket on the back to hang. We found that in a basement in Brooklyn, and it was dirty, filthy.
I remember we were cleaning it, going, okay, this better bring us some good money.
It went crazy. I mean, 2 people wanted it, and it went for $9,500.
$9,500.
I'm sure the owner is going to be shocked.
Yeah, they'll be very happy with that. What a great item, though.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And you might wonder, what were Mike and Randy Donley doing in a basement in Brooklyn?
There's
we
a
get
story
around.
there.
We get around.
Well, stay tuned for more information on why, because that auction will be coming up next year.
That it will. A last advertising piece I want to talk about, because I keep saying gas and oil, folks. Gas and oil advertising is where it's at. A nice single-sided porcelain Pegasus. That was what? Mobil oil, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mobil oil.
The flying horse.
Pardon me?
The flying horse.
The flying horse. The flying horse, the Pegasus, a flying horse. Porcelain, probably 6 foot by 8 foot, big sign.
It's not neon, though, right?
This was not.
Not neon.
But it still commanded almost $10,000. And, neon ones bring even more. But gas pumps, folks, if you have anything in gas pumps, air pumps, they're all very, very good, expensive items, and we're looking for more. I hope you're listening out there. A gentleman that called me a couple of years ago, he wanted to sell his collection of gas pumps right downtown in the city of Chicago. And I thought to myself, what are so many gas pumps doing in a residential neighborhood in a basement? I just can't imagine all the work getting all these gas pumps down into the basement. But I was there to auction the items, and he didn't want to auction them. And he wanted to sell them outright. And I kept saying, if I buy them, I'm just going to auction them and
probably get more.
And you would get more. There's no question.
Yeah.
So why not auction them? Well, he wanted to sell them, and stupid me. I should have just said, okay, I'll buy them, because we buy antiques all the time, folks. I mean, we'll buy your items. We prefer that you auction it because you'll make more money. If I buy it, I'm going to buy it cheaper, so that I can put it in an auction and make the extra money on it. So again, if you do have items to sell, we will sell your items for you. But if you're the person that has the collection of gas pumps, contact me.
Yes.
I'll be back over today.
That's right. Give us a call at 815-923-7000. I'll put you in touch with Randy immediately and get that going for you. But what I think would be even better is if you want to text him a photo, I'll give you his phone number direct, and you can do it that way too. We want to make it as easy as possible for you to get a little education on what you have and whether or not it's worth putting at auction.
And cars also. I have to say, people sometimes think that if they've got a collection of cars, they need to go to a what's referred to as a major car auction. There's 3 or 4 in the country, but in reality, we do just fine with cars. I mean, we get some phenomenal prices where people say all the time, "My God, you get just as much for cars as the big car auction companies." Well, of course we do. We're online, folks. We
Yes,
sell
we are.
online. And we've got the same customers. We're selling all over the world. We had customers at this last auction overseas. We had people buying in the UK. We even had people showed up here live from overseas
Yes, we
for
did.
this auction.
Our friends from the UK were here. Our friends from the Netherlands. Yeah, it was a great auction. So we do have eyes on our items. Thousands of people at every single auction from around the world.
And we just finished up this auction selling the last of a collection. A woman had right here in the Chicago suburbs. She had 14 Model A's, Model A Fords that her father left her. And we sold all 14 of them.
That's great. Well, listen, we're getting ready for our next segment, so don't go anywhere, folks. Coming up, the most exciting part of the auction for me are the bidding wars. We'll reveal a list of some sleepers that will just prove how Donley's bidding platform unlocks all the hidden value, turning a $200 estimate into a $2,000 sale. And we'll tell you how to do it. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to WLS AM 890. Welcome back to the Donley Auctions Hour. We are the auctioneers of antiques, collectors of cool, and veterans of vintage. Hi, I'm Susan. I'm here today with Randy and Mike Donley talking about our biggest fall classic ever. But I want to get back to several items that we had bidding wars on that pushed them past our initial estimates. The advertising category was on fire. Here are a few examples of some of those items, Randy.
Like the Ham's beer sign, one that was pre-auction estimated at $200, sold for $1,100. The Drury's estimated $300, hit $1,500. But Mike, Campbell's soup was kind of your find.
Baby. Yeah.
We put a $2,000 estimate on it, which we thought was fair, and it sold for $9,500 plus the buyer's premium, so it went for well over $10,000.
Wow.
Paid so. Yeah.
But one thing that killed me was there was a Levi jean vest in there.
I saw that.
Yeah, and it had a Harley patch on it. It was kind of cool, but
I think I even questioned. I said, Susan, what is this doing in the auction?
Why are we putting this in the auction?
and we had an estimate
Mike,
of
just leave it in there.
$120 on it.
Yeah. What did it sell for?
$500.
Yep.
Crazy.
Just had Harley
But now
Davidson patch on the back.
There were a couple jugs in there that were, I have to say, at best creepy.
Those, definitely creepy. They were Billy Joe Craven face jugs, and they sold to the same person. He bought both of them. How would you describe what they look like?
Well, when the pottery was thrown, they actually sculpted a face into the
they have like
front
big
of the
teeth on
yeah. I
them
mean,
and
they're
bulging eyes. And
face jugs are collectible, and
they were very cool.
You got to go online to see one.
We had
what lots were those?
Yeah, go to our website. Go to our website at
$12.49.
donleyauctions.com to see these face jugs at $12.49 A and B. And we estimated $300 on those. Guess what they sold for?
$1,200.
$1,200 each.
Again, you got to go up the line and look on these because you may have one of these sitting on your shelf.
I never thought about it.
Never gave it a second thought because a lot of the stuff was bought at little roadside attractions and stuff for just a few dollars years ago, and now they've become very collectible.
And so many customers come to us with items that they've bought at garage sales. And they buy it for next to nothing at a garage sale. They turn it into big money at Donley Auctions. So don't be one of the people that gives your stuff away at a garage sale. You need to research the items by sending us a photo. And we can tell you if you've got items that have some value.
Well, that's one thing I'm going to start looking for when we go to antique malls, because Randy can run through an antique mall and scan it and find the best of the best item there without spending a lot of time. Where me, I have to look in every single booth and look at things. So I think I'm going to focus now on face jugs, military helmets, and one of those potato chip containers. Which one was?
Japs
potato chips.
Potato
Those are the three things I look for at consignment malls.
You know, folks, Susan just brought this up. In military collecting, a potato chip can is actually a big item for the military
They're
collectors.
hard to find. I've not seen one
because
yet.
we all know Jay's potato chips as being Jay's our whole lifetime for the most part. Most of us are our whole life. But in reality, J's started as Japs, Japps. And they had metal cans they used to sell potato chips in. But then Pearl Harbor happens in 1941. And the Japanese had attacked Pearl Harbor. It was the start of World War II. And Japs potato chips became very unpopular, and very quickly they understood the need to change their name, and it became J's.
It was the Japs family. There was a family in Chicago that produced those potato chips.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Japs potato chips.
Find me a Japs potato chip canister.
What do they sell for?
Oh, they sell for about $1,500
In very good condition.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Wow.
Oh yeah. You can find them in $300-400 that are rusted out and everything. But if you're going to buy one, get a good one.
Get a good
because-
one. And then
Imagine
call me.
how many of those are sitting around in Chicago attics.
Oh, there must be a
Oh, my
load of
gosh.
them. There must be a load of them, and they're probably all full of nuts and bolts and garages.
Or Christmas ornaments and stuff like
Yeah.
that. People used them because they were metal storage containers.
Right.
Yeah, JAPPS. Call me 815-923-7000. I got to find one sometime in my life.
You got it.
815-923-7000. What else were some sleeper items?
Oh, those cherub lamps.
Yeah, what was that?
Well, they were just a couple of cherubs with extended arms that at one time there was little lamps on the end of them which were gone, and the wiring was kind of hanging out on them.
Yeah, those are the ones you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they were cool, but they were spelter, but somebody needed them, or two people needed them, actually, because of we had them pre-auction estimated at $250, and they sold for $750.
Wow, three
Now-
times more than we expected.
And
That's what I like to hear.
Somebody's going to put some work into them, and when they're done, they're going to be magnificent. But they were unrestored.
Yeah, just
but,
the little shades on them alone were so cute.
Yeah.
And I have to say, these were so beat that if I saw them, I mean, they were dirty, filthy, they were just unwired, they needed everything. I think if I saw them at a flea market, I don't know that I would have paid more than $10, $15 for
Right.
them.
And
I mean, here I'm the expert, and I didn't know. I never thought they would have brought that kind of money.
that's the beauty of the internet, though, the worldwide audience. Everybody that saw them, and two people happened to be looking for them and needed them and were willing to pay up for them.
Well, can you talk a little bit about cleaning and not cleaning? Like those, we did not clean those up, but we did clean up the porcelain sign. So give our audience a little bit of an idea of what they should and shouldn't touch.
They shouldn't touch anything.
Don't touch it. You
no,
guys don't touch
no,
anything. Let
no.
us
Well,
decide.
let us decide.
Okay, let us decide.
What should be cleaned and what shouldn't be cleaned because of, I mean, we've seen where people have taken the finish off Tiffany lamps and such.
Oh, no.
Because
All right,
they've
you're
got
right.
like a
Don't touch 'em.
Kind of like a bronze
Patina.
on them,
And-
a green patina, and they want to shine them up.
And the green patina was put on there by Tiffany. It was their special coloring technique that they wanted it to look, 1,000 years old when they made it.
Yeah.
And
We've had people polish coins.
oh my
Oh.
goodness.
Yeah, don't
Poor
touch
Ryan.
the coins. Ryan's going to have a heart attack.
Ryan will come into the office so many times just holding his head and saying, look what these people did to these copper pennies. And they'll dip them in Tarnex and stuff
no.
and get the coins all shined up. Oops. Just ruined the value.
Yeah, we don't care if it's dusty or dirty. I mean, this is what we deal in. Don't touch it. Let us decide. 'Cause
I've seen
we'll figure out
things
how to
with,
get the most money for you.
Like spider eggs on them and
Yeah,
stuff. I got people who can take care of that. Not me, but somebody
yeah.
else can.
Well,
Well, people are embarrassed. They say,
Yeah.
"Oh, we don't want you to see the way the mom or
Absolutely.
dad
That's
lived."
okay.
so many times people inherit or acquire what I'm going to refer to as a hoarder home. And there's different degrees, of course, of hoarder homes, but we have seen it all. And people will say, oh, no, we can't let you come out until we get the house ready. We've got to get it all cleaned out first. Well, in that cleaning process where they call in the dumpster and start getting the house ready to show it to us, they can literally throw away thousands and thousands of dollars. And that happens more than you could imagine.
How many times have we dumpster dived in the driveways, huh?
Absolutely. The first question I'll ask, is it fair game in the dumpster? Because I don't mind. I'll jump in there. And
It's kind of like getting ready to go to the gym and working out before you go because you're embarrassed of how you look when you get there. No, don't worry about it. Just go to the gym or just call us at
great
Donley
analogy,
Auctions.
Susan. Great analogy. But
Don't be embarrassed.
so many times, again, sadly, people cannot get off dead center. What's the first thing they need to do? And that is make that call to us. Make that call. Because once you call us, we will set a date immediately to come out and take a look and get the ball rolling.
Yeah, definitely gets the ball rolling. And here's the number again. I'm going to keep pounding this, Cindy, until I get a jingle, until somebody can create a jingle for me. It's 815-923-7000. That's 815-923-7000.
Kind of were singing it there a little bit yourself.
I'm trying,
right now.
but I can't sing. Don't make me sing. Don't make me sing.
But you know, you were talking, Randy, about people getting off dead center on this stuff. How many times have we gone in and helped people out and got a place cleaned out, and you could just see the relief on them because they had no idea how to start the process, and we make it so easy for them. We go in, we separate.
Yeah, it's life-changing.
What does get thrown away and what's good, and we're out of there.
We literally bring in a crew,
Uh-huh.
and we're in and out 1, maybe 2 days at the most, and we've got everything moved out. I remember not that long ago, we went into the city of Chicago, and we pulled out over 20 Nickelodeons out of one home. What an incredible collection first. Thank you for that.
Big,
that was
heavy
a lot of work.
items. Yeah.
That was a lot of work. And there's stairs involved.
Oh, geez.
Oh, my
Yeah, that's why you
goodness.
got to email us because we need all that information. Where is it located? Where in the country are you? What are the items? Are they in the basement? Are there stairs? You know, we got to get all that information so we can help you with the next steps.
And you said where in the country, Susan, because I'm on my way to go out and
Where you
look at a
going?
collection in Florida next week. And we keep traveling because if a collection warrants it, we're
Right.
on the road.
You're going to be in Florida in November, so we should let our listeners know if anyone wants to meet with Randy and you've got something you want to show him. He'll be in Florida then. We'll put that on our website at donleyauctions.com.
And get us on the calendar as soon as possible because even like today, as soon as we're done with this show, Mike and I are going out and looking at a military collection. And that brings up military.
All right, let's talk military and firearms next, folks.
Probably a full 1/3. I would have to say a full 1/3 of our business is guns and military.
Yeah, we do 4 auctions a year at least.
So if you have a single firearm or a complete collection of firearms that are yours or you've inherited, we can certainly help you sell it. We can get it sold, most importantly, legally. What you want to do is make sure that you're complying with all state and federal laws. And this isn't a scare tactic by any means, but you do want to make sure that if you have acquired firearms, that you are doing this properly. And the easiest way to make sure that you're selling your guns properly is to make sure that they go through an FFL, which is somebody like us who has a federal firearms license. Very
I
important.
was a little surprised the Jerry Garcia pistol did not sell. We talked about that in prior shows. So it did not sell. So can someone still buy it after the auction?
We do have Jerry Garcia's Colt pistol for sale. Yes.
Right, we're Grateful Dead fans. That is definitely something. I'm sure there's Jerry Garcia DNA on that item. Just that alone, right?
Could be, but
we'll take offers after the auction on that firearm, speaking of pistols, so that one is still available.
Sure.
Yeah, we do buy guns too, but we sell anything from antiques to modern. Anything from the old hand cannons up to machine guns.
Everything in between, absolutely.
good.
And we do have what's called a Class 3 dealer's license, which means if you have fully automatic weapons, which are currently legal, if you have them that have what we're going to refer to as the proper paperwork, we can sell them for you. You need a Class 3 dealer to sell fully automatic weapons, which are collector-grade weapons. But if they do not have paperwork now, I need you to know you can't get paperwork for World War II guns and machine guns that were not papered properly
When was the
originally.
last 1968? Was that the last amnesty? That
No, I
they
think
had?
they had an amnesty in the 70s, Mike. I believe 72 there was the last amnesty. I could be wrong, but the amnesties are over. That's not going to happen again.
No, and if you have a weapon, you have a question about that you have to dispose of. Get a hold of us. We'll make sure it's properly turned in and taken care of, because you don't want it hanging around. It could cause you a lot of problems.
We just worked on a collection for people who had over 50 guns, and we sold them all, but there was one gun we could not sell. We actually had to turn into the ATF, Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, and that was a cane gun, a cane that had a .22 caliber rifle hidden inside it or concealed inside. This particular cane gun was an illegal piece called contraband and needed to be turned into the ATF. Well, okay, it had to be turned into the ATF, but thank goodness we were there to make sure that you didn't sell that gun and end up in jail.
Right, or get into the wrong hands.
You
sure.
don't want to inadvertently, mistakenly commit a felony. You need to be careful. There are certain items that cannot be sold.
Wonder if there's ever been a cane gun in a movie.
Oh, I'm sure there's plenty of them. Yeah.
I've never seen one being used. I'll do my research on that and find out.
And to
Citizen
that
cane
point,
gun?
I wonder if Bat Masterson's cane was a cane gun. It might have been.
I don't know. I think I don't know.
What movie were you talking about, Mike?
Citizen cane gun? No.
The Citizen Cane Gun, Part 2, yeah. I'm pretty sure Rosebud was not a cane gun.
Okay, back to guns and military. Along with firearms, folks, we are right now acquiring for our next auctions coming up military relics. We need uniforms. We need helmets. We need insignia and medals. We're mainly looking for American, German, and Japanese. Those are the three major groupings that we want. And primarily, we're looking for World War II items. Now, even though all wars or conflicts are collectible, still the major highlight is in World War II, American, German, and Japanese.
Don't forget to mention edged weapons. Swords,
Oh, my
daggers,
goodness.
bayonets.
Swords and daggers are so hot, and bayonets for that matter, are so hot. Edged weapons are incredible. So many people brought home Japanese World War II samurai swords, and those can be worth a small fortune. Samurai swords are as little as $400. But they're as much as $400,000. I mean, and
great.
everything in between. But you have to have your swords checked out. And German swords. Surprisingly, some of the World War II German military swords literally can be worth tens of thousands of dollars, but most of them are in the high hundreds to $1,000 period. And daggers, same thing. German daggers average from 300 to 3,000 in numbers.
Yeah, and bayonets are a whole nother thing. We have one man who that's all he specializes in, describing our bayonets, because there's so many little variances. He can show me two different bayonets, and one will be worth $50 and one will be worth $500, and I'll be darned if I can tell you the difference. But that's why we
He
hire
knows his
experts
bayonets, yeah.
to help you get that money. Because again, the only way we make money is to make you money, and we'll figure out how to get top dollar for everything.
Well, we've talked about small items. Let's talk about the big items, Randy. Your favorites: military vehicles,
Vehicles,
Jeeps. How about cannons?
cannons.
You
and
love the big
tanks.
cannons. Tanks?
I'm looking for tanks,
The
cannons.
bigger the better.
You bet. Anything in military vehicles, I'm always looking for. But Susan, I'm going to switch, not topics, but I'm going to switch to a quick story I have,
Okay,
because it involves our coin expert, Ryan.
Okay.
He was here at the Wild West town, and we're getting ready to sell off the Wild West collection. Mike's got that auction coming up.
Yeah, that's coming up
And
November 22nd, by
in
the
one
way.
of the displays, there was currency, And I told him the story of how we acquired that currency. And that's when I was a preteen in the 60s. I was collecting military. And one of the customers at my dad's gas station brought in his World War I uniform to us. And the World War I uniform was a nice uniform. But after he left, I'm going through the pockets, and I found currency inside of it.
What?
And it was $127 in money. And my dad said, "Oh, you got to call him back and return that right away." And we did. We called him, and he came back. And he said, "Oh, my goodness." He said, "That's my muster out pay." He said, "It's still in my pocket. I can't believe I never used it." Now, this is in 1968. He was mustered out in 1919. So it was 49 years then. And the money was still in his pocket. We still have it to this day.
He let you keep it?
So, yes,
money?
what happened is he came in and he said, "Well, that really should stay with the uniform."
Oh,
he
my
said, "If you
gosh.
give me the equivalent in modern money, you can keep the money and keep it with the uniform." So we still have this vintage currency.
Wow, so what did Ryan say when he saw it?
Well, he said,
When do I get to sell
he
that?
said one of the $10 bills, he said, is worth $1,000 alone.
Oh, my gosh.
So there you go, folks.
Check
Now,
your pockets is the moral of that story.
and all these years, I mean, think about it. All these years, this $127 has been together for over 100 years.
That's a lot of
And
money
now,
back then.
Now at our auction, we're going to be separating it. It's going to be
Okay.
sold separately. And when is that auction coming up, Mike?
It's coming up November 22nd. I'll tell you right now.
November 22nd, it's going to be Native American Old West. We have a large collection from a professor in Madison, Wisconsin, and then we're going to have our cowboy items here from the Wild West town, and some of our Native Americans joining that collection too. So it's going to be up online at the end of the week. So
That's right. Are you guys sticking mostly to the Old West items? You're not selling like gift shop items or anything like that from the Wild West town.
It's going to be out of the
strictly
collection.
to from the museum items. Okay, good to know. Yes, we're going to get that online this week. Check our website at donleyauctions.com to check out the catalog, and we need you to get registered for the next sale too, because we have several auctions coming up, about one a month. November's Native American and Old West. December we're going to have probably 2 or 3 auctions, 2 online auctions, and probably sports memorabilia, because Ryan is just going gangbusters with sports memorabilia. January we're going to have another big auction, probably decorative arts or movie memorabilia, we'll find out. And then February 7th is the John Bannister D-Day collection. Wow. You guys are working hard on that one, too.
I want to give an ask out there for anybody who has any old movie memorabilia. I mean, Chicago had some of the best movie houses in the country back in the 20s and 30s, and most of them were torn down by the 70s, but people have fragments out of those buildings. They have furnishings, they have statues, they have pieces of plaster, mirrors, movie posters, anything from the Chicago theaters. Please contact me, because some of those things are worth thousands of dollars. There's guys who collect even seat ends. We have some beautiful seat ends, the cast iron seat ends coming up in the movie memorabilia auction. So anything you have, old projectors, anything.
How about old movie posters?
Movie
Is anything
posters,
like that valuable?
There's movie posters that sells for the hundreds of thousands
Old
of dollars.
movies, though. We're talking old movies,
ones.
not,
Well, it's funny.
Goonies.
Even stuff from the 60s now is bringing in the hundreds of dollars. You have some of the first Star Wars movie posters. Those are over $1,000 right now. So,
Okay.
I mean, it runs the
to know.
gamut. Check it out. I mean, it doesn't cost you anything to contact us, and we'll give you our opinion on what stuff is worth. Again, as Randy said, you wouldn't throw a lottery ticket away without checking it. So we're the guys that can tell you what it's worth.
But I'm glad, Mike, that we're talking about this right now, because the sad part of our business, there's always a downside in every business. And I would have to say the sad part of our business is how many times we have to tell people what they have has no value. I'm bringing this up
very
now
little
because
value,
movie
yeah.
posters is one of the most common areas where people come in all excited with these movie posters that they've got, and they're reproduction.
They're still reproducing.
And they said,
movie
"Oh, they
posters.
can't be reproduction. I've had these for 40 years." Well, they've been reproducing good movie posters for over 40 years. And so often, again, especially with paper goods, we have to give people the disappointing news that what they have.
But again, like a lottery ticket,
Right. You
most
never
of
know
them
till you
most of them
call
are
us.
the winners.
Right.
But
Can you tell
everyone-
us, how do we know it's a reproduction? Is there an easy way to tell by looking at a poster?
Well, usually down in the bottom right-hand corner or bottom left-hand corner, depending on the company that issued it, there'll be code numbers down there. I mean, we would have to look at that. If they just
We
sent
need pictures of it, yeah.
If you see a company with a zip code after it, it's definitely a
It's
reproduction.
definitely a reproduction,
Even by
Oh, my
today's
gosh.
standards, they don't do that. So.
right?
Even this weekend, there was a gentleman showing me some things on a machine that he could identify as incorrect and everything. And I have to say, once you've seen the originals, it's like there's no question when you see a fake. I mean, it becomes pretty easy. And we've got Mike and I each have 60 years of experience in this, 120 years between us.
You know what you're talking about. That's
Yeah,
right.
we can see
Well, let me recap real quick. Again, give us a call if you'd like to talk on the phone. It's 815-923-7000. 815-923-7000. We'll get a message to one of our specialists to get back to you with next steps. If you'd like to email us, jot this down. Send us photos to consign@donleyauctions.com. Now, folks, you've heard the results. The premier items, the rarest finds, and the most exciting bidding wars happen here at Donley Auctions. So you got to get registered for our upcoming auctions so you don't miss out. But we've also seen the proof. We achieve market-defining prices for great items. We're not an estate sale company, but we are a specialist firm for high-end antiques. If you have the best of the best items, you need us, a premier auction partner. Contact Donley Auctions today. We are always seeking high-quality consignments, and we'd love to hear from you. Thank you for listening to the Donley Auctions Hour this week on WLS AM 890. Join us next week for more fun stories, a little education, and some more financial information. For now, I'm Susan.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Randy Donley, and
And
we'll see you at the auction.